Hello there. The topic that I will be sharing to you today is about informative speech. When we speak of informative speech, it is one that intends to educate the audience because you are giving information to them on a particular topic. Therefore, your topic should be interesting, and at the same time, you know your topic very well. So there are many types of informative speeches, including speeches that describe the condition of a subject and speeches that instruct the audience on how to perform an action, giving them strategies, techniques in doing such action, giving them procedures. So informing them, instructing them on how to do a particular action. Also, as I mentioned, describing the condition of the subject. If your topic is about COVID-19, you may describe what's the condition of this pandemic. So the main goal of informative speech is to provide enlightenment regarding a specific topic that you have chosen, a specific topic that you will be sharing to your audience. Therefore, you should know more about your topic. You may demonstrate how to use a new topic and explain new concepts about the chosen topic that you have selected, and make sure that you provide details about a person's interest. The audience wants to learn more about the topic that you have selected or the topic that you are sharing to them. The topics covered in an informative speech should help the audience to understand a subject matter and to remember what they learned from you. The goal of this type of speech isn't to sway the audience to the speaker's point of view. Instead, the details need to be laid before the audience so that they can make an educated decision, especially if you're informing them or learn, of course, about a subject they are interested in. So it's important for the speaker to think about how this information will be illustrated to them, will be presented to them. So an information speech should rely less on pathos, which is an appeal to the emotions of the audience and an important component, of course, to persuasive speech. Make sure that they will learn from you, from what you are sharing. Okay? So provide information in multiple forms during the speech. Increases, of course, likelihood that the audience will retain the information included in the speech because they learn from you. So these are some of the things that we have to remember about informative speech. The purpose, of course, of informative speech is to provide information from the speaker that could be a guide to them to work on. Okay? So provide information. Informative speaking offers you an opportunity to practice your researching, your writing, your organizing, and speaking skills. Why? Because when you present your informative speech, you need to have a lot of ideas to share to your audience. So you need to research. You need to organize your thoughts. And it also one way of practicing your speaking skills. How are you going to project yourself in front of your audience? How are you going to deliver your speech? What are some of those strategies that you could use in order to effectively deliver your informative speech? So you have to take time, of course, in practicing your speaking skills. The purpose of the informative speech is, of course, to provide interesting. Make sure that the audience will have this interest in what you are sharing. Is your topic useful to them? Is the one that you are sharing to them very useful, unique information to your audience so that you could captivate their interest to pay attention to what you are sharing? So these are some of the things that you have to consider in mind in giving informative speech. There are major types of informative speeches. We focus on informative speeches about the objects, the processes, the concepts about it, and also the events. If you will be telling about condition, a particular condition in a certain situation by informing them. So in general, you may use 4 major types of informative speeches. So these are the objects, the processes, the events, and the concepts. Okay, take note of those major types. When we talk about speeches about objects, this focus on things existing in the world. What's happening? Objects include, of course, among other things, since we're talking about the world, the places, the people in it, animals, or the products. So because you are speaking under time constraints, you cannot discuss any topic in its entirety. Instead, limit your speech to a focused discussion of some aspect of your topic. That's the reason why it should also be concise when you make your speech. Get only those important details. Focus on those important details that you'd like to share to your audience. How about speeches about processes? When we talk about speeches about processes, take note of your focus here on patterns of action. The demonstration speech teaches people how to perform a process. So there should be an illustration, a demonstration showing the process, telling the audience of what to do to understand the importance or the context of the process. Okay? Another is about events, speeches about events. Now, speeches about events, the focus here are on things that happen or are happening or will happen in the future. So when speaking about an event, remember to relate the topic to your audience. When you relate the topic to your audience, you may also ask their experiences, or you may also give your own experience about a particular topic that you have chosen. What event, a memorable event that you have experienced that somehow changed your life when you do or share events as an informative speech. Another is speeches about concepts. So the focus here are on beliefs, not only beliefs, but also theories and ideas. While speeches about objects, processes, and events are fairly concrete, speeches about concepts are more abstract. Take note, it's more abstract. Take care, take care to be clear and understandable when creating and presenting speech about a concept. You may also present your concept using well-known people, their ideas, their perception about your topic. Focus your efforts toward providing unbiased information and refrain from making arguments. Okay, because concepts can be vague and involved. So limit your speech to aspects that can be readily explained and understood within the time limits. Okay, even though I mentioned a while ago that when we talk about concept, it's somewhat abstract, but somehow, since it's an informative speech, try to limit your ideas, your explanation, so that your readers could understand it well. So select a topic that you are interested of, because if you are interested in the topic that you are sharing, you'll do your best really to share a lot of information about it. Begin by thinking of your interest. If you have love or you always love to work or discuss on experiences of people because that is your interest, therefore start reviewing and reading a lot of articles about it so that you could share a lot of information also about the chosen topic that you have selected. Put details on it. Research. You could also substitute personal experiences for detailed research if you want to in presenting your informative speech. Okay, so learn more about those unfamiliar topics. You may also benefit more by selecting an unfamiliar topic that interests you, okay, because it will be an add-on to yourself, a challenge on yourself by choosing a topic you'd like to learn about and to learn others understand it also. So it would be a challenge on your part if there is that unfamiliar topic, but you are interested to work on. Okay?
So take note that informative speech is one that intends to educate the audience on a particular topic. A good informative speech conveys accurate information to the audience in a way that is clear and that keeps the listener interested in the topic, achieving, of course, accuracy, clarity, and interest. So take note of this one. Making your information that you are sharing clear and interesting for the audience. So you can use description, analysis also, or categories when you give information. You could use words to create a picture in the minds of your audience. You may describe emotional experiences, consequences, or realities, even context. Okay? Another is adjust complexity to the audience. So, in your speech, if your speech is too complex or too simple, you could adjust as a speaker according to the kind of audience that you have. That's why it's important to know the background of your audience. Are your audience students or professionals? Okay? Another is link current knowledge to new knowledge. So you could link current knowledge to new knowledge. You could search ideas wherein you could share this to your audience. Certain sets of knowledge are common to many people, so you could search and add on information to this one. Make it memorable to your audience. So if you've already done the preliminary work in choosing a topic, you could find an interesting narrowing topic also, or develop and use presentation aids. Okay, and make sure that when you deliver it, you will leave something for your audience to remember. So you could make it memorable to them so that whatever you have shared, they were able to learn it and they will apply it in their daily lives. Another is make it relevant and useful. So what benefits can they get from your speech, informative speech? So, when thinking about your topic, it is always very important to keep your audience members what they have in mind. Okay? Avoid unnecessary jargon also. The unnecessary words that they could not understand. Make it relevant and useful, as I mentioned a while ago. So, this is a strategy for making the topic more real to them, since it may be happen to them on a number of occasions. Okay? In avoid unnecessary jargons, of course, since you know your audience, you could adjust also on the kind of words that you're going to use. Okay? Simple words that they could understand when we speak of avoiding jargons. Okay, there are a lot of jargons already wherein adult one or old persons could not understand. So create concrete images. Okay, what do you want to portray? What image do you want to give them when you create concrete images? So at least they could think of that image while they are listening to you, what is your topic all about? What is that image that you would like to show them? Since I've mentioned that informative speech is somewhat abstract, therefore you have to create an image in the mind of your audience. Okay? For example, the word responsibility. What does it mean? So you could further explain it. How are you going to explain? By using an abstraction in a sentence and then comparing the concrete term in the sentence. So I hope you learned from this. Good day.